The Trina Travel Backpack is a super large backpack that you can carry, has tons of pockets, the zipper pocket on the outside. There's a double-headed zipper for main compartment access, a zipper pocket inside, and a vinyl see-through slip-in pocket on the other inside area. On the side, it has expandable water bottle pockets on both sides, adjustable straps, and a hanging loop there at the top. It's just a really nice, big travel backpack. Okay, we're ready to interface. For the exterior, I'm using foam, and what I like to do is rough cut it a little bit bigger around my fabric and give it a good press. Then I base stitch all the way around with a large stitch length, and then I'll go in and trim it to be precise and match my fabric. I'll do that with the two exterior backpack pieces and the zipper panel piece, which is quite long. I can't fit it in the frame here. I'll do that process. So let me just show you how I based. What I usually, if it's quilting cotton that I'm working with, I will place some pins. I find it just helps keep everything in place. It helps if you have an extension table like I do on your sewing machine so that it can support bigger pieces better. I'm going to switch this to a 4.5. There we go. I'm not pulling on anything. Needle down, lift the foot, and pivot. Remove the pins. If you didn't pull, there shouldn't be any puckers or folds anywhere. It should be pretty nice. Okay, now I'm going to come in and trim it. You can do this with a rotary cutter or scissors. I happen to really love my new Havel scissors, so I use them a lot. If you're confident with the rotary cutter, it does speed it up. I've been making bags for many years, so if you ever need to pause or if you feel like I'm going too fast, take a deep breath, pause it, go at your own pace, and come back and join me. It's not a race. Okay, so I will do that to my remaining pieces. And then for the lining pieces, I have already fused my SF 101 to the wrong sides. Let me turn down this light. So these are my lining fabrics, the two backpack pieces, which I'm going to have to repress because I've stored them for a while, and then the zipper panel. And as I did with the exterior, I joined 2 pieces of fabric and then I fused the SF101. See, I can peel it off if I want. I just fused it onto the back side of the lining fabric. So let me press that back down. Now with SF101, I usually press from both sides just to make sure it's on there really nicely. I don't steam. I don't tend to use any of steam or starch or anything. This works just fine. So I'm going to set these apart. After you have fused your pieces, we will do the elastic pocket. The bottom edge is the smaller edge like this. Let me move my banner, my notes. So you're going to place the fabric right sides together. I'm just going to iron that little corner there because it bugs me. Stick a pin. And we're going to sew all the way around the edges, leaving an opening in this bottom edge of at least 3 inches. So I'm going to sew from here, up, over, down, and over a little bit. Just enough so I can turn it right sides out. Remember to turn your stitch length back to normal. And I'm using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, generous 1/4 inch. Measure a 7-inch length of elastic. And this is 1/4 inch wide elastic. You're gonna pin one short end in one corner and the other short end at the other corner. So this is what will happen because the elastic is going to pull on this pocket, which makes that scrunchy look on the outside. So I'm going to sew down here and I'm going to sew down over here. You want to go back and forth many times to make sure you've got that elastic. I do a whole bunch of times there. Now I'm going to do this side. So now it's like this. And we're going to turn it right side out. I forgot my point tool, so I'm just going to pull my corners out gently a bit here. Okay, so that elastic is up at the top. You'll tuck in the bottom edge down here and press it. That elastic should be up at the top, and what we're going to do as you're pulling on this side is we sew right along here. So in the photos, take a good look. You want to feel that elastic. You don't want to sew over the elastic. So I'm just going to come up in here and make sure it's at the top. And you just make the channel. And that gives a really nice finished pocket when we attach it to the bag. It looks so nice. I can feel my elastic. I'm not sewing over my elastic. If you do sew over the elastic, the pocket will not scrunch. I'm just sort of pulling it. Here we go. Oh, cute, cute pocket. Trim your threads and repeat for the other pocket. Okay, so the pocket is placed 2 inches up from one short end of the zipper panel. So here is my long zipper panel. I'm just rolling it up so you can see what I'm doing here. My pocket, you could go either way, whichever side you want to show. I want the exteriors to match. So I'm measuring 2 inches up and placing this open bottom end down here. I haven't sewn that shut yet because it gets sewn shut as we attach the pocket to the bag. Now the critical part here is you want to kind of fold the sides in a bit, scrunch them in, and pin this in place. So let me show you again on this side. See how it hangs over? That's on purpose so that when it's sewn down, this pocket has lots of give for water bottles, juice packs, whatever you're putting in here. So see, it'll stretch, but it also is nice and roomy and bubbles out like this. I love that. I can't stand it when there are flat side pockets. Like, what am I supposed to put in there? An envelope? Jeez. Pet peeve. So now, once I get enough pins in here, use lots of pins. Nobody judges. No judgment. Now we will sew down across the bottom, closing that opening as we sew across, and up. Remember to back stitch or lock stitch on each end because this pocket will get lots of give, and those will be the points that need to be really strong. I'm using a little, like a generous 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. I say generous because too many people get uptight about having a perfect seam allowance. Just sew it down. It'll be okay. The stitches will be hidden when we put the bag together. This is that corner I was talking about. Really reinforce this. Take your pins out, check everything. Is it secured? Are all the seams caught? Always check that. Yay! It's looking so good. And as you can tell, you feel it, it's plenty thick enough. You don't need interfacing in that pocket. So save some money and leave it out. For the second pocket, it's not 2 inches up from the other end. We have to measure from the first end that we did the 2 inches. We measure 37.5, 37.5 inches up. So here's 34. I'm going to mark that. 35, 36, 37.5. Right here. So I'm going to make a notch here. Little mark. And that's where the top of the second pocket is going to be. The top, not the bottom. Look at the pattern, the pockets face each other. So match up those markings, pin in place, and sew it down just like the other pocket, catching that open bottom edge as you sew. So down, across the bottom, and up. And remember to lock stitch at those top corners. Get your lining zipper panel, this long piece, and draw a line that is 12 inches from one short end. I use an erasable friction pen. I happen to really like these. Draw another line at edge. And because I'm working on a smaller space, I made a notch at 24. I'm drawing a line. Okay. Now you're going to come up from the bottom 2 3/4 of an inch and draw a line. We have to look at this again. 2 3/4. Yep. And now 3/8 of an inch up from that line we just drew, draw another line. This is the zipper opening. Some people like to make this a 1/2 inch wide, but I prefer 3/8, especially if you're not using a handbag zipper. Handbag zippers have wider zipper tapes, and so the 1/2 inch box will work just fine. But if you happen to not have that on hand, you want to make sure and just make this 3/8 of an inch wide. I do highly recommend a double zipper. That means 2 zipper heads for this backpack. It will work with a single. I just find it a little bit more annoying if I can't open it really fast all at once, just so you know. Okay, so then we're going to place this right sides together with the exterior panel. And you're going to want to pin this in place really well, matching all the edges. Around the pockets, make sure to just shove the excess fabric of the pocket towards the middle. There will be a little lump, just so you can get a clean seam allowance over here on the side. I like to pin so that I can pull the pins out as I'm sewing. So for instance, I'll be sewing like this with the machine, and this way I can just pull the pin out really easily. Don't stab yourself with pins. You could also use Wonder Clips. The left side, the 2 inches up, keep that on the left, because the zipper has to go in the middle, so you want them to match here. Okay, so the zipper, this is going to be for the zipper opening, and the top of your pocket is hitting like right here, so there is clearance, but it's very close. Make sure you pin these fabrics together the right way. I almost had a major screw up there because I had them reversed. If your intuition tells you maybe this isn't right, just take a second and check. Your intuition is usually right. You're not sewing over any pockets, okay? There's my fluffy pocket. I'm just going to sew this to keep it in place. Okay, I kind of roll this up as I'm going over to the machine. I don't want anything in the way, so this is what I do. And now, I need another pin there. But now we're going to sew directly on this box. Needle down, put up, pivot. Now we're going to cut right down the center of that box. You may choose to draw a line first. That's fine. Take your scissors and make a V-notch in each end. I like to just trim that away. Let me show you here. This end, I'm going to do a V-notch. I'm not going through the stitching, but I'm going right up to it. Okay, and then you've got this little V-notch of fabric and foam sticking around, and I just clip it away. You're going to want to take some time with your ironing board and press this so it's really nice and flat. I really take time with these edges and invest some good pressing there. So I'm going to go get my pressing board and do that, and I'll meet you back. The Trina Travel Backpack is a super large backpack that you can carry, has tons of pockets, the zipper pocket on the outside. There's a double-headed zipper for main compartment access, a zipper pocket inside, and a vinyl see-through slip-in pocket on the other inside area. On the side, it has expandable water bottle pockets on both sides, adjustable straps, and a hanging loop there at the top. It's just a really nice, big travel backpack.